MJ, welcome to MK Dons. First opportunity we've had to talk to you. How's your pre-season gone so far?
Yeah, since I've walked in, I've loved it. The lads it's an easy change room to walk into. The lads have been great, and obviously the sessions have been really good, but tough at the same time. But we'll get the benefit out of it throughout the season, starting Saturday.
Your manager just said that you're exactly what the club needs, and what you've shown so far has been exactly what he thought he was going to get. And coming into a club that's obviously had a difficult time, and I don't want to dwell on what's happened in the past, but you have an opportunity to come in and help the club move forward, and that must be quite exciting.
Of course, yeah, and new faces probably do that. Obviously you've got the likes of Gilbs, Cam, Maka who've come in as well. And it's just like a lift to the change room, really. I know what happened last season. Probably I didn't see that one coming myself. I really thought MK Dons were going to be right at the top, but stuff happens in football and you've got to react after that. And the gaffer's brought in some new faces, and I'm sure the club will try and add again. But it's only to benefit the team, and our main target is to get promoted this season.
How do you do that out of League Two? Do you think what's the key?
It's tough, really. It's like any other season. I can only speak on my experience. I think you've got to have a style of play that's going to be effective to this league. You're going to come up against a lot of different teams that play different styles, and you've got to be ready for all them different styles. Starting Saturday, we know it's going to be a tough game there. They've got a long throw as well, which that's the type of games that you're going to get in League Two, and you've got to stand up to that. And I'm sure our football will take over as well.
And talking of Wrexham, we've just all been discussing here just the hullabaloo, the pantomime in a way that it is. But there's a lot of attention on them as a football club, and a lot of attention on this particular game. Do you have any thoughts about that? Do you just drown it out? Is it irrelevant to you?
Yeah, you do drown it out. Obviously, from the outside looking in, what's happened to that club's been probably amazing, really. For what they've brought to that club. And they've signed some good players, but we know we've got the confidence to go there and get a result Saturday. We've got the players, we're confident in it. We've worked hard all pre-season. Well, I've probably only been here 2 weeks, but speaking to the lads, they have been worked hard. But we're only going to get benefits from that, and knowing the type of lads that are in the change room, everyone stood up to it, and that ready for Saturday, we're going to be ready for it.
And from what I've gleaned so far, from just meeting Graham and talking to various players, fitness is going to be something that's certainly going to be a big part of what Graham Alexander brings to this football club. We're keen on making sure that everyone's fit for the job. Of
course, and you have to be fit. Obviously coming from Bolton, that was what we based it on a lot, really. We had a man-for-man press, so obviously you had to be fit to be able to do that. And obviously, we've got the talent in the change rooms. We've worked on how we're going to play out from the back, and defensively how we're going to set up, and that's the main thing. I think we've got to be strong defensively, because then that obviously gives us the chance then to go and obviously go and get the goals and get the win.
It's interesting, isn't it? You talk about playing out at the back, and that's something that people have got used to watching MK Dons, but in League Two you have to adapt, you have to be adaptable, otherwise that kind of football might not work on certain occasions. It just might not. There's got to be versatility there.
Of course, yeah, there's going to be different types of games that you're not going to be able to do that. Sometimes it's more of a fight, and we've got to stand up to that. And I think that's what the gaffer's drilled into us, really. We've got to be ready to roll our sleeves up and be ready for the battle. And like I said before, our football then will take over. But to start off with, you've got to have them basics where you've got to keep that ball out the back of your net, and then obviously then it gives us a chance.
You ready for the battle?
Yeah, obviously I can't wait. That's what I love doing, and obviously I like being on the ball and stuff. But probably my main thing is to obviously get the team ready for it, and hopefully have a few challenges.
Of course, you've got a League Two promotion under your belt relatively recently with Bolton, so you know what League Two's all about.
Of course, yeah, and obviously I joined in January there, and the club was 19th, so it was a bit of a strange one. When I went in there, I probably thought it's not going to be this season, it's going to be the season after, but we got on a run, and that's the most important thing in for me in a promotion. You've got to get a good run. Obviously if you get beat, then you've got to quickly get that back to getting back on the run, and that's going to be important this season.
I spoke to a couple of lads up in Bolton about you, and they've said that you were a bit of an unsung hero that season.
Yeah.
You play in that sort of position, though, don't you, where you don't necessarily get all the plaudits, but it's a very important role that you play.
Yeah, of course. You're in the middle of the pitch. You've got to be able to help people out. Obviously the attackers, let them go and do their stuff, and you're probably there just to back them up and obviously do all the dirty work really. But it's something I've really enjoyed. And like you said, then in League Two, that was. I come in at the time where they weren't keeping clean sheets and that, and then we did go on we were winning most weeks 1-0, so I was made up with that. And
I suppose it also shows that at no point in the season can you really be written off, because you go on a run from 19th in January all the way to securing promotion. You're never really quite out of that mix.
Of course not, and you've probably seen it last season with Stockport. I think they were down at the bottom, weren't they, for a while, and then they go on a massive run and in the playoff final. So it is but obviously this season we just want to start quick. I think that's the most important thing. I think if you can be right up there probably throughout the whole season, it's a lot easier than having to go on a massive run of 13-14 games where you're chasing it. So come Saturday, that's our main target, is to obviously get the win and start a good run.
Just to touch on pre-season, MJ, with Wrexham, they've had a huge pre-season tour out in America, all the Hollywood glitz and glamour, playing Man United. Very different from the pre-season you've had here at the Dons. Yeah,
of course, and it's one that I've really enjoyed. We went to Germany. It was a great setup. Obviously played the game out there, but obviously them games are tough because obviously we're training that much, and then you're training in the morning of the game, so lads are going into it tired, but we're just getting the benefits out of the minutes. But yeah, like you said, obviously they've had the luxury of going to America, which is probably amazing for them, but for us it's just business really. We just want to go and get the fitness and work as a team and make some, was able to bond with lads, do you know what I mean, probably more than you would here. So it was great for me to be able to go out there and obviously spend the week with the lads.
Absolutely, and when it comes to this game, if you could pick a time to play Wrexham, the first game of the season, it's a fantastic opportunity, isn't it? It'd be a hell of a statement if you could go there and get the win.
Of course, yeah, and I remember before I joined here, I looked and seen Wrexham, and I couldn't wait for that one. I think if you can go there, get the win, like you said, then it's a massive statement, and I'm sure the atmosphere is going to be, really, really good. So, but it's one for us to go there and, quieten it down.
Dons fans travelling in their numbers as well.
Of course, yeah, seeing it to sell out, so that's massive for us, massive boost, because you need your fans behind you as well, and I'm sure we'll get that.